Hi, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Boswell again. This week with phonics, we're going to be focusing on R-controlled syllables. We have covered open syllables. We've covered closed syllables. And last week, we talked about the magic E syllable. Okay. And now we're going to focus on R-controlled syllables. Okay, and some of you might have heard this as the bossy R. So that bossy R is going to tell this letter what sound it makes, and they make a sound together. So it's usually a vowel followed by an R. So we're going to take our notes. So you can pause the video anytime throughout, but this would be a good time to pause the video, and you're going to need your writing spiral notebook, a pencil, and your favorite marker to take good notes. All right, now that you've gotten your supplies, we're going to go ahead and start with our notes, okay? So at the top, you want to write R-controlled syllables, okay? Remember, you can always pause the video as you need. Okay, so let's find ways, or let's talk about how we can identify an R-controlled syllable, okay? The first way, it's going to be one vowel. Okay, one vowel followed by the consonant blank. Well, remember, we're talking about, so I wonder what goes in this blank. Remember, we're talking about R-controlled syllables. So what consonant, I should say consonant like I even have it in my brain, which consonant is following that vowel? If you said R, you are so correct. On that blank should be the letter R, because that's the consonant that's going to follow our vowel. So that's the first way to identify it. Okay, and we're going to put this little note. It's going to say the vowel is controlled by the R. So it kind of takes over that. And we'll put that in parentheses because that's super important. This R, this consonant, is going to control the vowel, whether it's A, E, I, O, or U. Okay, so that's our first way to identify. Let's find the second way. Okay, are you ready? It says the vowel sound vowel sound is, and then I'm going to have a bunch of these. And if you notice, it's not just one vowel sound. So we're going to figure that out. Are you ready? Okay. So the first one is R. Okay, AR says R, like in the middle part. So if I had this apartment over here, okay, I would know that the R lives here in the middle part. AR lives in the middle part, okay? Okay, so this one is R, lives in the middle part, okay? So I've got an apartment here, okay? You can draw that if you want, okay? The next one is OR, and OR lives next to the door, and it says or, okay? And the next three, they all live together in the apartment, and they live on this thing called a curve. Say that word with me, curve, okay? So ER, IR, and UR all say the same sound, which is and it can get very tricky in our English language. But just know that ER, IR, and UR all say the same sound, which is and they live here on the curve. So I've got I-R, E-R, and U-R. Okay, and some of you might have remembered this apartment from Valtown. We learned about our apartment in Valtown if you were in first grade here at Black Bob. If you weren't, that's okay, but you just learned about it. So AR lives in the middle part and says R. OR lives next to the door and says OR. IR, ER, and UR live on the curve and say So that's just a fun way to remember how to say those sounds. Okay? So we've got two ways to identify it. It's one vowel followed by a consonant R, and that R controls the vowel. The vowel sound is R, or Okay? Our next thing that's very important to know is, it's still connected to this, the sound is not long or short. Okay? So if you hear a long or short sound, we're definitely not going to identify it as R controlled. Okay? So the sound is not long or short. The pattern we're going to look for is a vowel, R. Okay, so that's the pattern we'll look for, is vowel R, if we're looking for an R-controlled syllable. Okay, let's do our first example. Okay, our first word that I'm going to spell for you is C-A-R. Okay? So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say it's one vowel followed by the consonant R. Ooh. I see my vowel. I'm going to dot it and label it. And I notice that it's followed by, if you said the R, you're correct. So, is this word an R-controlled syllable? Yeah, look. It's one vowel letter followed by the consonant R. The vowel sound is ooh-a-r. If I go here, oh, it's in the middle part. Oh, it says R. So that says R. And I'm going to underline it because they go together. That's super important to know. Okay. So my sound is not long or short. So it doesn't say a or a. Okay. But this is a consonant. The C is a consonant. So I can label that if I want. So I've got consonant, vowel, R. Okay. And I know the C says k. Okay, because it's with an A. So it has the k sound. So I'm going to go k, R, car. Let's clap that. Ready? Car. Oh, how many syllables? Just one. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's do this word. T-U-R-N. Okay. Let's see if we can identify this. I already see a vowel, which is U. Okay, so there's my vowel. Now, I notice if I'm trying to label it or identify it as R-controlled, so I see my vowel, is it followed by a consonant R? Ah, it is. So I can already tell this is going to be R-controlled. What's the N? It's a consonant. What's the T? It's a consonant. So let's see, can I identify it? It's one vowel followed by the consonant R. So this R controls the U. So the vowel is not going to be long or short. And I know that the UR sits on the curve and it says So these two sounds, I'm going to underline them because that's important. They go together. They say Okay, so I'm going to say each sound. So I've got T, T. UR says and the N says N. T, earn. Put it together, it says turn. Well, let's see how many syllables. Ready? Turn. Oh, how many syllables? One. So both of these words we have identified as R-controlled syllables. Okay. We're going to do one more word. Oh, I know. Most of you probably already know this word, but that's okay. So let's identify it. I know I can spot a vowel, the I. Okay, but I notice that that I is followed by the consonant R, so it's going to control that vowel. So I'm going to give it an R up there. Okay, the D is a consonant. The B is a consonant. Because I'm saying that it's following that VR pattern, I know that the R controls the consonant. So if I look at it, E-I-R-R-U-R, I'm going to come over here to my curve and I see, ooh, I-R here, and it lives in the curve, so it says So I'm going to underline that because it says Okay, so let's sound it out. I've got B-R-D. B-R-D. Blended together, it says bird. Let's clap how many syllables. Ready? Bird. How many syllables? Just one. So 4th grade, we have learned how to identify our controlled syllables. Okay? All our controlled syllables, it's a vowel followed by an R, and that R controls that vowel. Okay? And if I can't remember how to say those sounds, I can remember my apartment. Okay? AR lives in the middle part and says R. OR lives next to the door and says or. And then IR, ER, and UR, they live together on the curve and say All right. If you would like, you could list more one-syllable R-controlled syllables. Good luck today.